Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you ready to go. Today on Live Music Nation podcast, I'm with Eric Jones with Tell Me Ania's Harmony Artists Inc.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, very good, very good. Thanks for joining us. Eric, how long have you been with Harmony Artists?
Coming up in this June will be a year. So,
okay, all right. And what did you do before that?
Prior to that, I was working for the Houston Symphony for about 2.5 years. I was working in their marketing department, and it was something that I as you can tell, I love music, so I've always been, involved in music in one way or another.
Okay.
So,
and what's your current role with Harmony?
Well, right now I am I'm a booking artist for the company. And I represent mostly the Southwest, mostly Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and also Arizona.
Okay, all right. And the clients that you represent, what kind of genre of the music?
It's pretty much all genres. Primarily, they're like tribute groups. We have groups from like What If We Believes are like a Doobie Brothers tribute group. We have a Journey tribute group. We also have an actual theatrical productions group of Forever Tango that was on Broadway back in the mid '90s.
Nice.
And now they're doing touring now, as well as we also have Always Patsy Cline. So we do like I mostly work primarily in the PACs, which is the Performing Arts centers. So we mostly do a lot of theaters. So we do just a lot of different various acts that you might probably see, particularly from like America's Got Talent. Recently, we're representing Mariachi Divas. They were on America's Got Talent. They actually were like in the top 3. They were an amazing group of people.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Let's just dive right in. COVID. What was that like for you guys? How long did your artists and your agency have to shut down? And then where is it at now?
Well, currently right now, since the current variants that's going on right now, it's slowly picking up. I mean, some of the centers are now trying to open up. They're trying to kind of reshuffle themselves. I mean, this has been a very rough 2.5 years. So,
yeah.
Particularly for us, we're just trying our best just to try to catch up. So we're always looking towards like 22, 23, preferably for 23. So we're just trying to make sure that things are kind of slowly coming back to normal, particularly in Texas right now, because even though that we have a governor who's very, very loose in his but when it comes to opening things up, but the variant is so high, the levels are high. Yeah, it makes it really difficult for people to usually come back to concerts. But I know that they are coming, but it's like it's just it's very slow. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, we stopped touring in Texas because it was just so hit or miss. Every month was something different, and then the closer we got to bigger cities, of course, it was more difficult as it goes through there. What are some things that you have learned through COVID that you're going to continue to implement for your artists in the future?
Just pretty much following the CDC protocols, making sure that they're safe, and making sure that the theaters that they work for follow the rules too, because there are some people that are very unscrupulous and they just don't care, and they just let anything happen. And I think that's not right. It's not morally right, number one, and also it's not fair for the artists, particularly for their health wise, their protection, and also just being able to perform at their ultimate level. So we just hope that that they continue to follow the CDC guidelines and protection.
Gotcha. Very good. What do you look for in your artists that you represent? What are some qualities that you look for?
Well, I think we want diversity. We want something that could appeal to pretty much the entire family. Most of our shows or most of our acts are primarily shows that I think that that are primarily G to PG. We don't do anything that's a little bit too risque. Most of our artists that that I've worked with so far, some of the talent it's just very there's a variety of talent. People are prone to nostalgia. we have, we definitely, we have some artists right now. We have an artist right now whose daughter is the daughter of the late Sherry Lewis of Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. And, everybody remembers the old, the old children's show. So there's this great level of nostalgia there.
Yeah.
So people are always looking for that. I think that we really need that now. I think particularly, because we really went through a lot.
Sure. Sure. Was that a personal decision for you to get into that niche of family style entertainment, or is that easier for you to sell tickets in that genre, in that spectrum, or what?
Well, I just love that the opportunity to be able to see different very acts that that I can probably take my own family to see.
Gotcha.
I think that's great that we're doing that.
Yeah, very good. What's some words of advice that you would give up and coming artists as they're looking at developing their career? What's some words of advice you would give them as an agent?
I'd say basically practice, get better, get better every single day. Keep practicing, and learn, and also learn to fail, because one of the biggest problems most people, everybody's trying so hard to succeed and try to be number one and try to be the best. I always say learn to fail, because number one, it keeps you humble. Also, it's a learning opportunity. You get a chance to understand, how to be better at what you're doing. And then when when you're out there, it gets, you're out there performing, from the audience, people get a chance to, it makes you a complete person. It makes you, a full, complete artist.
For sure.
So I would say, always strive for success, but also prepare to fail. And but when you do fail, just learn from it, get better at it, improve.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's have a little fun here. 3 of the best shows you've ever seen in your life, and I know you do theater and music. So 3 of the best shows you've ever seen in your life.
Okay, I'll break it down in categories. I would say music concert wide was Prince. I saw him in 2004. It was just him. It was 3 hours of just him playing all of his hits and everybody singing along. That was just so much fun. And he was all about musicianship. Band wise, I would probably say it was U2, Joshua Tree, 1987. I went to University of Texas, Austin. I was studying 2 exams. I just completed. I went to Irwin Center and actually saw them, and they blew my mind when I saw that for concert. And theatrical production, I would probably say I would say I wish I had saw Hamilton, but I never said Hamilton. Eventually, I'm planning on seeing Hamilton.
Okay.
But I remember seeing The Lion King the first time on Broadway, and just the visual, aspect alone was enough for me. But it was just the entire experience, just seeing everything come together, seeing that close connection with the audience, with the with everything that Julie Taymor did, just blew my mind.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Dream act, if you could book for them, dead or alive, who would you want to book for?
I would love to book the Ramones.
Yeah.
All of them, because they're all gone.
Yeah.
Just about, they're all gone.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's good thought. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's talk to the young you. Somebody that wants to get into the music industry business. Now, you most likely found a niche. You were a performer, both musically and theatrically. How about the advice to someone who loves the music industry, loves the theater industry, but doesn't necessarily have the talent to perform? How can they get in the business? What's a good avenue for them?
Well, obviously there's a lot of things they can get into. Obviously there's if you have a mind for numbers and figures, you pretty much, getting involved in, getting involved in management. That's important. If you respect the rights for the artist, you can always get into entertainment law, be a patent attorney, or be into intellectual property. That's and also those who are really good writers, they can get into publicity, be in publicity.
Yeah.
There's many ways you can get into it. You don't have to actually be a performer. To me, performance is only 40% of the equation. You're talking about 60% of everything that's behind the scenes. Talk about, technical, business, marketing, publicity. There's a lot of things that are behind the scene before anybody even steps on the stage, opens their mouth and sings or says a line of dialogue.
Yeah.
So that's a small percentage.
Yeah, very true. Very true. What's the best advice you would give to a youngster who's just starting to play, sing, or perform or act, and they have a huge amount of nerves on stage? What would you give them for advice? How did they get over that?
Just push on through. Just do it. As I said before, there's gonna be a moment when if you go out there, you might feel like you're gonna make a fool out of yourself. You may think that, but really you're not.
Right.
Because by the time that you're finished, those nerves are gonna be over. It's gonna be really quickly.
Yeah.
I say just push on through, lean in, get into it.
That's awesome.
And just don't worry about if you fall and fail, because if you fall and fail, that's okay. You can get back up and do it again.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Eric, thank you so much for your time today. We've got some great tips, some great advice for our young listeners. We've got tremendous amount of feedback and input for you on how things are in the South and the Southwest for sure. And just thank you for what you do for live music. Thank you for representing the artists that you do. I'm sure they're very appreciative of your hard work and your past experience and your expertise. Absolutely. So I appreciate you greatly, Eric. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle